So we are going live here and we are saying hi and welcome to another episode of Gathering of Lights, the Foundation Law with Cody, Bryce, and myself, Eva. Hi, Cody.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, world. How are you? If you've been watching us and following us for the past 5 times, it's also been, this is the 5th time, which means that we have been going through this for 10 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, has been that long. Well, yeah.
Yeah. When you're going back in your mind, it's like 10 weeks. Have we actually been going live 10 weeks, but we haven't gone live 10 weeks, but 5 times in 10 weeks. So yeah, it's, I love this that we have the 2 weeks between every part, because you need to integrate the information that you have done and going back and do the meditations. So I was thinking the other day that maybe we should take those meditations from these 4 that we have been doing, and we will see what's coming up today, and just make them as a small episode and put on here during the summertime, so people can just dive into the meditations all in one. That could be pretty cool because they are intense, short but intense. So putting them together could be pretty nice experience.
Yeah, a real journey.
Yeah, a real journey. We're mastering the laws. So today we're going to talk about the 5th law. The only constant is change, except for the laws.
Yes, it's again one of those that seems quite simple and just pretty straightforward, but one that does kind of get a little bit deeper, if you will. But it's actually probably not as deep as the other ones, but still something very crucial to keep in your mind.
And the other ones are, of course, you exist. Everything is here and now. There is the all is one, the one is all, and what you put out is what you get back. So those are the 4 laws that we have been processing during this 4 other times. So today we're going to talk about the 5th law. The only constant is change except for the laws. And yeah, you said that there are, what can you say about that law more than you have already? Because it's a short few words.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I said, it's very simple, but can get pretty complex. And I would like to start with the simple one so that we have the foundation of our just kind of the start. And that is literally just life is constant movement. It's the frames of existence might be static, but you're moving from frame to frame to frame, which means constant movement, which means constant change. And you can only experience change through, or you can only experience life from that change, from that movement, that's happening. It's everything from aging to, little molecules that are constantly vibrating, all that type of stuff. Even if everything seems perfectly still and nothing seems to be moving, the molecules within your body are still vibrating very fast. All the little stuff that we think is solid is basically just it vibrating at a certain speed that makes it so that we can't pass through it. It's all energy, vibration, all that stuff, and energy to vibration, constant movement, constant change.
And with that said, we are done. Thank you so much. No.
Finished.
Yeah, finished. No, but how can we talk about this? Because it is so much more, it means so much more than it sounds when we are describing it. Because this vibration that we've been talking about throughout all these laws, we always come back to the vibration. So if everything is constant here and now, and it's a movement, and everything is changing except for the laws. But
Yes.
the law is somehow, I can see a movement in these laws too. The bigger picture you can grasp, the bigger movement there is in the laws.
Yeah, basically it all kind of flows together, therefore they're not completely solid within themselves, if you will, but they are the things that will not change. They are the laws with the capital L, things that cannot be fought against, if you will, or can't be broken, laws that we have in our countries, or even laws of physics and all that type of stuff, those can be broken. Those can be, worked around, if you will. But these laws, you can't work around them. You can't go against them. They're there, That's
so
why
that's why they are
there.
called the foundation laws. They are there. So
yes.
but when you are expanding your awareness and you start to, let's say that we are doing these meditations that you have been giving us now for the during the 4 times that we have met, and because every single one of those meditations has brought forward a reaction within the inner core when we have done the meditation. It's very powerful meditation. It's very short but very powerful, where you have put them together so well, Cody. So they are bringing us into a vibrational state of mind, and when we are doing them, we will expand our consciousness or bend the vibration, the energy of understanding and inner growth. So
yeah, it's basically like when you're doing those meditations, they're starting to imprint themselves into your conscious, subconscious, into your vibration itself. Therefore, you act more accordingly to those laws in every moment. You're not forgetting them and getting lost or anything like that. They're kind of become those foundations that you can always go back to feel safe, to feel like you actually kind of understand this craziness that you're living. It allows for security, if you will, at least for me.
So you could say that the constant change of these laws is that they are bending around the foundational laws. I see the foundation laws like pillars, huge what do you call it, marble?
Yes, marble pillars.
Marble pillars, and this energy that is swirling around is the foundation laws, and when we are, I lost it.
Yes, yeah. So I can get the vision of it. It's you got the pillars in the center, if you will, and then everything else moves around it, almost like in a circular kind of thing. But and that'd be in one of the that's a constant, so to speak, is that the change is constantly moving around. It's constantly going, but the pillars are always there.
Yeah.
And so there might be movement all around the pillars. There might be, energy kind of going in between, all that type of stuff, but the pillars stay solid. It's the energy and everything else that moves around it, which is
very
change.
beautiful picture. I can see so clear in my hand.
Yes, sure.
And I'm glad you're picking it up too. So Cody is channeling. This could be exciting. Maybe we have a meditation later on. You're already warming up here. So what can you say? You warned us about that the 5th law. There isn't so much to talk about the 5th law, because it is the summary of everything that we have been talking about, and that is the constant change except for the laws. So
yeah,
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so basically this one, because it is so simple, once you grasp the kind of basic of it, it can be expanded more and more, but that expansion doesn't really change how deep it is, if you will. There, you still know that it's changed. Whereas like other ones, like everything here is here and now gets a little bit deeper into more like quantum physics and stuff that gets a little bit more intense and hard to comprehend. Whereas this one, it's not really hard to comprehend. It's pretty obvious that things are changing. It's even someone that wants to be, or it's like life and death. There's constant, being born, dying, being born, dying. You can't be in one body for forever. There's always going to be a change within even your consciousness, within even how you present yourself as an existence. There's always change. Even within the higher dimensional planes, there are change. It's just we experience it in more of a slower progression. So we get to actually experience the full arc of that change. Whereas other dimensions are less bound by a linear time frame. Therefore, they kind of bounce around. Therefore, they still change. There still is change, but they don't get to see the full progression of that change from one to the next to the next. So we get to experience it a little bit differently in the higher dimensions.
So when you were talking now, I got this picture of these pillars once again, and the connection to the oh, this pug is snoring here. I can't hear myself. And but the inner one, that I am, the I am presence, your higher self, like these are that is what you are talking about. The constant change of body is you are growing out of your body, is getting old, is a change in your body. You're going to leave it, but the I am principle is there.
Yes, that'd be the first law, that you exist would be connected with the I am presence, which would mean that is a law. Therefore, that does not change. Your I am presence, your existence does not change. Everything else around it will change.
Yeah. So even if you are growing into a new body, you're still the pillar of light, so to speak, and everything is moving around that. So it's coming back to the fifth law is actually a battery or catalyst. What do you call it? Like,
yes. Yeah, catalyst. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah, it can be connected to every single of the other laws, because it's kind of the one that it completes the other ones, so to speak, or just a final touch on it, if you will. That you exist makes it clear that the laws don't change. Everything is here and now is another kind of constant change of that. It's solid that everything is here now, but you're always constantly moving from one thing to next thing to next thing within that everything is here now type of thing. The one is all, the all is one. It goes back to the solidness of that. That's a law. It does not change. You do not change. You are constantly changing between all of your other selves, if you will. You're connected with all of them, and you're constantly going from one I am existence to another I am existence, meaning that they are connected and they're one. And then, fourth one, what you put out, what you get back. Again, energy, again, change. Putting something out, you're having the energy change and come back to you, which is coming out, coming back. So each of them kind of goes back and forth with that fifth one.
that is so cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't find a better word, but everything is connected, and somehow they are like this infinite symbol. They are moving like a loop, and they are touching each other all the times, and together they are one, but they are still five, or at least the foundation laws. So we are not going to talk too much about everything, so we lose the essence of it, because I think you have extracted what you need to say about the only constantly change. But will you do a quick repetition of what we have been going through with the other 4 laws, just touching the basics, so to speak?
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
will you do that?
Yeah. I'll kind of do an overview of the laws and kind of yeah. All right. So law number 1, you exist. You can't change that, which is basically the existence of the I am presence, like we just said. It's your energy, your source itself, and therefore source has always existed and it will always exist. You are a reflection of source, if you will. Therefore, you will always exist. You have always existed. So existence is kind of solid in that. And law number 2 is everything is here and now. Kind of deals with how life is kind of structured, if you will. It's all of what can be experienced is already there for you to experience. You just have to move into it through your consciousness. Your consciousness moves from one frame to the next, to the next, to the next, and therefore that's the change, as well as it's not like a little bit harder to explain, but it's basically just everything is there and it's all now. There is no time of past and future, all that type of stuff. That's just kind of the illusion that we create to make to make movement, to make the progression of change, and, all that stuff. So everything here is everything is here now. And then law number 3 is the all is one, the one is all, kind of connecting with the your source again. It's that every person that you interact with, every person that has been and will be, is all one consciousness. If you think of that, it's all one being experiencing itself as different beings to be able to have all possibilities, to experience all possibilities, basically. And so they kind of work off of each other, and it kind of is in this big play, if you will, just a grand old time that source is having. Law number 4, what you put out is what you get back. That one is more energetic manifestation, if you will. It's the energy of your core vibrational self that attracts the frames of reality that connect with the second law of that everything is here now. They connect with the frames that already exist based off of your vibration that you put out. And so you are drawing in those frames of existence, and that deals with manifestation and what you kind of want to experience in life. And then law number 5, we just talked about the only constant. The only constant is change, except for the laws. And that one, again, fairly simple. Everything is changing, everything is moving, everything is flowing. Which allows you to experience that change, that progression, and kind of experience of different things.
So there's the basics for everything that is going through like a thread in the universe, through all levels, all dimensions, in all collectives. It's no one is excluded from these laws. They are universal. These are the creation laws. Everything is moving around those laws, and of course everything is in change, and as we said earlier, if we are in a different awareness, we will experience the laws, the meaning of the laws, from another point of view. So therefore there is this constant change, even the foundation laws. So that is kind of interesting, because what we are going to talk about later on is how we are moving forward from these 5 foundation laws, because even though there are 5 foundation laws, there are so much more throughout the whole universe, of course. And those laws that we are going to talk about now is the 5 levels of mastery connected to the 5 laws. And you have been so kind to write it down, because I will never remember this anyway. So law 1, cryptic, a statement of your existence on Earth, a connection and an expression of your life as it is in the way you are familiar. That's one of the, and that is connected to the first law, right?
Yes, that you exist. Yes.
You exist, yes. So the second law, the second foundation law, is nocturnal. The awareness that everything exists all at once and the ability to connect to those parallel realities. And then you have law 3, shapeshifter, the ability to call upon those parallel versions of themselves and represent them to others. And law 4, sage, the ability to call upon those parallel realities and actually transform entire environments into other worlds. And law 5, wrath, the one who bridges physical and non-physical reality, matter and spirit, the ability to call upon the idea of changing the template, the very foundational underlying blueprint of physical reality. These are a goodie bag, Cody.
Yes, right. Yes, once you have those masteries of each of these laws, you would become a master of life. You become what would be like a Buddha. You become transcendent of everything around you, because when you master, especially when you master the 5th one, the Rife, because you literally can tap into the blueprint of reality and be like, I want to change this, I want to change that, and you experience it. It changes, and you experience it. Therefore, you have complete control over everything that you want to experience. That you want to be. It's really fun.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be fun, because when we have been going through the other laws, we have been sort of, tapping into these levels of mastery. We have been mentioning it, and if you can't remember, go back and watch the replays, and you will find out that we have been talking a bit about these mastery levels, but we are actually going to dive into those levels a bit closer, more try to decrypt the information about what exactly that they are. So you said that we were going to maybe have 1 or 2 laws in one class.
Yes, because they can be very easily explained, if you will. It's some of them will probably be a full one, because they are a little bit more intense. But just like this one that we had today, the only constant is change. That one seems so basic, or so like easy to understand, that you don't need a full thing for it. And so some of them might be paired together so that it's we can move through them faster, and we don't have to spend too much time just kind of figuring out what to say about them, because they're so basic that you can kind of just get it fairly quickly.
So if you should just mention what we could be talking about, because I don't think that we should start talking about these laws so to dissect them right now, but we can talk yeah. Yes, just a little bit,
Yeah.
So if you want to just we start with law 1, cryptic.
Yes,
I give you the word cryptic.
Yes, cryptic can be explained or has different definitions for it, but in the way that they're talking about it, it's more of the being that has truly connected into himself and his situation that he or she is. I shouldn't just be saying he. It's kind of a thing now. Okay, but that they are experiencing. It's the one that will go into nature and be able to fully be there, not be worried about going back or having this or that to do. It's the person that is truly there with themselves, you know. And so it's different practices that we'll probably be talking about with that one to get you connected with that experience of being truly with yourself and being comfortable with yourself in that situation.
That's interesting, because that is something that we are definitely going to need right now. We are moving out from the portal 777 and into the Lion's Gate, and that is kind of interesting. I've been sneak peeking around on Facebook, and there are so many talking about right now, so many people talking about clearing up in their homes, you know, cleanse out the old stuff that they have in connected to physical things. So it's not just the internal cleansing that we have been moving through for a couple of years right now. Right now, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's more like a visionary image right now, but a lot of people is in the process of cleansing from their homes, from physical stuff that are connected and to old stuff that are no longer in value or in use to them. And I've been doing that myself. So noticing that a lot of other people all around the world are doing the exact same thing on the same time is definitely something that is connected to this portal that we are, or these energies that we are in. So that is, I already forgot what you ended your sentence with, but definitely connected to what you said right now.
Yes, the being able to be within themselves and be comfortable in that situation that they're at. So if there's energies that are attached to you or that you still are holding on to that make you uncomfortable in your own skin, your own being, then right now is definitely a good time to be able to shed those away, to be able to feel more comfortable in your life. Yeah.
So good that you can explain what I'm thinking, Cody. I love that. So we go to law 2, nocturnal.
Yes, nocturnal is the one that kind of has the awakening of time and space, the ones that can kind of see past the linearness that we experience on Earth in this, you know, physical existence. It sees the potential of connecting to many different experiences all at once. It can decide which one it wants to connect to. So it's a little bit more aware of the path that it's going to choose because it has more options with it. It's not set in stone like most people would feel that a linear experience is. You know, it's going from one to one. It's much more flexible at that point. And so they connect to that experience that everything, you know, all of existence, all of time, all of space is condensed into this one, not moment, but one existence, if you will, one point that it's all connected to. So it's all here and now.
And then when I read nocturnal, I think about like the night, evening, yes, nocturnal, night living creatures. So how is that word nocturnal connected to this?
Yeah, nocturnal is it might seem like it's connected to the, you know, night beings, you know, owls that are nocturnal, you know, that type of thing. Yeah. But it's kind of a different definition. It's a different word. I believe it's actually like some different language. It's not even English. When you think about it, it's explained differently, but it's basically the connection of there is no time, you know, and it's all an illusion. So yeah.
And when I'm reading here, the awareness that everything exists all at once and the ability to connect to those parallel realities. If anyone wants to do that meditation that we did during the law for a couple of weeks ago, it will definitely give a clue about how to move into these parallel realities.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that meditation definitely allows you to be more fluid in the change, because it's again short and intense, but you get that clear vision of what you get to experience, or what you are able to experience, of the quick change from one frame to the next frame to the next frame, and you can have fairly big, jumps or changes from one frame to the next, to be able to really experience something different fairly quickly.
So law 3, shapeshifter.
Yes, yeah. Now that one was fairly self-explanatory. So, but it is kind of the ability to tap into different versions of yourself, if you will, and be able to present them out to others. Whereas the nocturnal, it's less obvious that you're shifting from one reality to the other, because within that reality that you're changing, it's already there. It's like people just know it. They're not seeing any change in you because they are part of that change. It's the whole thing. Whereas this one is more you staying on the same path, but what you're doing is changing how you look within that path. So very simple ones is you can change the color of your eyes. You can change, how your mouth looks. Different things that you can kind of shift a little into different ways of being. The more intense versions, or more mastery versions, is being able to change into different animals, different existences altogether. But the kind of tricky thing about this one is that you're not changing the core you. The thing that you change to is only a projection that you're putting out. It doesn't fully change everything into a solidness where you experience it. You can have it stay there, and so it does seem like you're experiencing that's like it does it, and that it is actually fully changed, but all you're doing is just keeping up the projection that you're putting out. Again, a little bit hard to explain, but
no, but that's quite interesting. I know we've been talked about this before, but this shape shifting, even though I totally get it that it's a projection, and that is how you sort of manipulate how other see you, because this shape shifting actually affects other people. So, but could it be a possibility to use this shape-shifting experience in an astral form?
oh, gotcha. Yeah, like if you went in an astral travel or astral, out of body experience or something like that, you can definitely change a lot easier than in the physical, because you already are basically a light body at that point, and the light body is much easier to transform and change than the physical form. Yeah.
Because when I kind of going back in my memory lane, I can, like we've been talking before, get, memories back on things that I might have tried to do, and some things we have already mentioned, so we're not going there. But where I want to connect the shape-shifting projection with the physical experience is when I was walking through this a lot amount of snow. It was in the winter, and it was very hard to move forward because it was pretty much snow. So, when you walk, you get tired within your legs, and you try to bring the power, because you heard when you're growing up, you hear so much, um, you know, expressions from different cultures, and one of those things that have stuck in my mind is that you are, when you are, for example, horseback riding, you are going to merge with the essence of that horse. So you are becoming one together. So that means for me that you can bring that power to yourself even if the horse isn't there. So by using the energy from a horse. So then I felt like this working horse, who pulls trees in the woods, have this massive strange just moving forward in the snow. And it felt so much easier to walk. And then I started to think about people who are jumping, like cats, parkour, we are calling it today.
Yeah,
You
parkour,
know,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
I don't even think that existed when I grew up, but
Mhm.
they are using another energy. They are
Mhm.
using a to me shape shifting energy.
Yes, yeah, it's not just the physical expression or projection that's going out, it
No.
is also the energy as well that you said. Because when you're tapping into other versions of yourself, the one is all, is that, you are also the cat, you are also the horse, you are all of the beings that exist. Therefore, you can draw upon that energy and be like, this is me now. I'm taking, not taking some of the energy, but I'm expressing that energy within myself, and therefore you do change your energy, your abilities, all that type of stuff. So yes.
Mm. And now that you're saying that, it of course it is true, because then I started to see the martial arts practitioners when they have this cobra style and
Yes.
tiger style, and of course they are using the power of the tiger. I didn't know that. Yeah, it's just testing you, see if you knew that. Okay, moving on. Law 4, sage.
Yes, the sage. Now this one's fairly impressive, to where you're not just projecting out an image that people can see. You're also projecting out a full environment now. So you are not necessarily like in Law 2 and Nocturnal. You're not changing one reality to the next reality. You're basically changing that reality that is there into something else. So let's say if someone that really mastered this one, you can go into a desert environment and change it into a jungle. You have the mastery over being able to project an environment out from you, and others will be able to experience that environment as well.
So that is not a projection. It's more like
Yeah.
the law to that you are
Yeah.
alternate
Alternate.
altering the
Yeah.
physical
Yeah.
one. Oh,
Exactly. Yeah. You're actually altering the thing. It's less of a shape shift where you're projecting it out or anything like that. It's literally, it's you changing the environment full physically, but it's not even to the extent of the wraith where you get to change the blueprint of it. You're kind of one less down from that, to where you're just changing the environment around you. But also you're not doing nocturnal where you're just you're just changing from one reality to the next reality and kind of going into different realities. This one, you're staying on that reality, but you change that reality that you are on.
so that is like PlayStation, where you level up to another
Yes,
level. Okay,
exactly. Yes.
interesting. So we have law 5. You say wraith, not wrath. Wraith.
Yeah, yeah, wraith. Uh, it's kind of a hard one. It's kind of, if you think of the waspy kind of existence, something like a mist, something like that. It's kind of a wraith. There's also a wraith that can be a dragon that's made out of mist. But anyways, there's different words that use the same, or different things that use the same word. Like in most of these, it's kind of words that can be used in different instances, but these ones mean this one specifically. But yeah, wraith is a little bit more of the true master of life, where you can fully change the blueprint, the template. go into the blueprint and say you want a certain type of physics to change. You change the physics. You can go in and change how people are living. You can go and change how you are living. It's a little bit more of a mastery. You almost don't want to fully use this word, but you basically turn into a god. It's that type of level of interaction with your environment and your experience, your reality. Yeah.
You're, so to speak, becoming your own creator.
Yes. Yeah. Very much. Yeah.
Or creator for yourself from in your reality. Okay. So it's going to be pretty interesting. So how are we going to split them? Do you want to take, is there one of those levels who requires more time, do you think? Or
Yeah, I would say the one that takes the most is the one that we just talked about, the Wraith, because
okay.
that one gets a little deep into how you're able to actually transform the template and all that type of stuff. It's a little bit more advanced, if you will. Therefore, many people in this existence, in this time frame, would not be able to experience that level of mastery. That one's kind of, almost reserved for higher dimensional beings, if you will. Those who are a little bit more advanced in their consciousness. So that one might be a little bit harder to explain, therefore it might take a bit longer. The other ones can be a little bit hard to explain, but if you get the basics of it, we don't really need to get too deep into it,
So maybe we will do 1 or 2 laws, mastery levels, mastery levels each time, and then we have it's going to be like 3 times. Yeah, and if one of the, let's say that we are meeting up in 2 weeks and we are talking about the law 1 and law 2, and law 1 is taking more time than we expected to do, so we will just progress and do more lives with the rest. So we will cover everything in a way. Oh, this is going to be very interesting.
Yes.
Really looking forward to it. And I do hope that if you have any questions about this, that you are going to put them into a message to either Cody or myself, so we can bring them up here and try to get the better understanding of how you think about the laws. We do know how we are thinking because we are talking to each other right now, but we would like to invite you to send in messages or questions to us so we can address them live. So, do you feel inspired to do meditation, or do you want to go straight to healing?
It's not necessarily a full meditation, but I was thinking that the imagery that we were working with before with the 5 pillars might be a good visionary thing to sit with for a little bit.
Love it.
And so it's literally just going to be like the image that we were talking about, but kind of placing you within the center, so you get to really experience it. So it'd be very short and very quick. It's just a visionary experience to get the to have it really sit within you. Okay.
The scene is yours.
Thank you. So if it's up to you, all that stuff, you get to kind of just sit quiet, or kind of find a comfortable place, all that stuff. Close your eyes, and what we're going to be doing is having basically a coliseum, if you will. It's not a full coliseum, just you have the 5 marble pillars that are surrounding you. You are sitting in the center of those 5. So you are the experience of the I am presence. You are in the center of the 5 that do not change. And around you is a swirling energy that's constantly changing colors and forms. It is you know, getting bigger and smaller. It can have shapes in it, or it can be just a mist. And it is just constantly flowing around those 5 pillars. And so what you're going to do is kind of just sit with it and watch the change. But while you're watching the change, you're realizing that those pillars are staying solid. They cannot be destructed. They cannot be pushed over by this energy. They cannot be shifted out of place. They are solid. And you, within those 5, cannot be touched. You cannot be moved. You cannot be swayed outside of your place. You're safe within that 5. While everything is chaotic and changing and moving around you, you can be sitting in serenity within these 5. You can be safe. You can be still, even if the world around you is not. And sitting with that, you can sit longer or finish if you want. If it's feels right to you, you can come back to your awareness here and now. And yeah, you can use that visionary technique if you feel everything around you is being a little too chaotic, a little too much for you. You can sit within those 5 pillars and know that you cannot be budged. You cannot be moved.
Oh, good. It was very intense. All these pictures and visions just came swirling down, but they landed pretty well. It was like these pillars somehow started to be like a collar around my neck, you know. So there was some difference between the levels. You know, my head was in the air and the pillars, and then the physical body came below. So but it feels very cool in my head, like it's almost like a chilly
breeze type of thing.
breeze. Yes.
Yeah.
So it feels pretty good. Very good.
Yes. So
that's beautiful, and I hope that everybody else picked that up too.
So yeah, I thought something that could somewhat represent what we were talking about, the change and all that type of stuff, but also be useful to where, it kind of gives that sense of security. Because when I think about the laws, it kind of does feel secure. It's something that I can always go back to and know that they are there. They're the foundation. So I can always go back to it if my mind is going and I'm just I can't figure anything out. I go back to the 5 and figure out how I can use those 5 to accomplish what I need to accomplish.
And they are tools, so that's why the foundation laws are there. They are there to provide tools for you to use, or for us to use. And this is a explanation on how to work with those tools. So this is a mini workshop. I'm not fond of that word workshop, but it is somehow a workshop anyway.
Play shop.
Yeah.
Play shop.
Because we are talking about the tools, so we have to come up with another name. The toolbox.
Yes.
Toolbox.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I always like to change the word work into play. Somehow change it into play. So if it's a play shop, so it's less intense, less hard, if you will, and so it's like, instead of homework, it's home play, that type of thing. It kind of just makes it a little bit lighter.
It sure does. It sure does. Play shop just
it doesn't sound right, but yeah.
No. get some other picture in my head right now, so it has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely. But we are calling this a gathering of lights so far.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
because that is what it is. The pillars of light are the foundation laws. So do you want to close this with a healing? Do you have any stone ready for us?
Yes. Yeah. I have malachite.
Oh, I love that.
Yes. Yeah. Fairly good sized stone of malachite. I actually just recently got this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems
So
very soft.
yes.
It's almost
Yeah.
like a I don't know what you call it in English, obsidian. This yeah, volcano stones. But
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, obsidian and all that stuff. Yeah,
oh
it's
yeah, obsidian.
obsidian. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were going to say Play-Doh because it's kind of folded all. It's like Play-Doh. Yeah. But yeah, so there's this one. I think this was a good. So I haven't done too much deep meditations with this one or really tapping too much into the energy of this. So I'm not exactly sure what it's going to want to send to you. But I do know that it's really good for energy increasing and kind of amplifying stuff. And so this will be, we'll see what happens basically. Okay.
Well, we are getting ready.
Okay. And so for those that do not know, I'm going to be sending energy from this crystal to you. And if you're wanting the energy, just mentally or verbally say, you want the energy, you accept it. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. You just say, I don't want the energy, and it won't touch you. So we'll connect into it, and then okay, the energy is subsiding or finishing. Yeah.
Thank you, Cody.
Yes.
That was a very balancing energy that came through. I can almost feel in my own body how it was, you know, the energy was larger on one side and shifted over to the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to made my spine kind of extend out and kind of straighten me up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I felt that too, like it was
Mhm.
pulling something up, you
Mhm.
know, something to do with what we were talking about. So, yeah, I do need, I usually try to keep this under 1 hour so we can upload it on Instagram, but we can cut this. Do you have anything to do after this or no? Do you have some time?
Yeah, I have time.